Well, some supplements and vitamins you know about, like vitamin C for immunity, but what about others you might see when scrolling on Instagram? Do we really need to take omega-3s? And what about collagen? And what is that anyway? Here to answer all of our burning vitamin and supplement questions for women of a certain age is Dr. Lisa Koche with Spectra Wellness. So welcome back to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, there are so many, questions that I have. There's so much information bombarding us, on Instagram and all over the place. And I do feel like for so many years we didn't talk about menopause and perimenopause, and now I feel like so many people are talking about it. That's almost too much information. How do you feel about it?
I agree with you. It's over the top, and a lot of people that are talking, their primary goal is selling, and you don't know if it's really what's right for you. It's confusing.
A lot of misinformation out there, so you have to be careful. So we're going to try to, weed through some of it. So one supplement that keeps popping up on my page is creatine. And when I think of creatine, I think of, what the bodybuilders took,
in the gym.
back in the day, right?
Yeah, all the high school boys.
Right.
So I think it is really fascinating that the data is coming out showing such a positive benefit, and I have benefited. I put about 5 pounds of muscle on when I added creatine in my shakes. Yeah. So you just have to be careful because there are certain types that many women will react to. They can hold on to fluid and things. So try really slow, throw it in. It helps your brain, it helps energy, it helps muscle.
Yeah, and the brain health aspect I'm hearing a lot about as well. But you want to start with a very little amount. So what do you recommend starting with?
I would say like a gram would be a good place to start. And then if you can, I can easily take 5 grams, but many women cannot.
Yes.
So there are different types, that you can switch to. One called creatine hydrochloride instead of the monohydrate. That HCl seems to be a little better tolerated.
Okay, so that's a thumbs up for you. Okay, so what about vitamin D?
That is
thumbs up. Okay.
As many thumbs as we can have. Everybody should be on vitamin D.
Really?
So there's too much data supporting it in every way. So when we talk about one supplement that hits everything from the immune system to energy and mood and so many more things, your bones, that is a 100% thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay, so the next step is magnesium. And what confuses me about magnesium is there are so many different kinds.
Yes, magnesium is another very high thumbs up, but you're absolutely right. There are many different kinds. There is one brand that has all 7 in one capsule. So that is kind of what a lot of times what I'll stick with, but you can malate for cardiovascular. There's glycinate for overall muscular. There's 3-8 for sleep. So you can get really bogged into the weeds, but I think even just a magnesium citrate, which is the less expensive you can find at all the stores, is a good one to start with. Just can make your bowels loose, so you have to kind of go slow and titrate up.
Right, so magnesium is something you should look into if you're...
For sure, that's another thumbs up.
Okay, what about probiotics in general? That's a big category as well.
So probiotics are fascinating because it turns out that the different strains have different things they do. So it's again another big, going into the weeds. But what I would say is our food is so laced with antibiotics, and so many of us have taken antibiotics that overall probiotics are a good thing. You may just want to rotate the type and understand that if it seems to upset your stomach, move on to something different.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of this might be trial and error because people are different, our bodies are different. So what might work for your friend might not work for you.
Absolutely, and you may have one probiotic that's worked for a long time. Then let's say you go through a procedure, you may need to switch it up for a bit. And there's ways to test your microbiome, but that gets more complex.
Okay, what about omega-3? I hear a lot about that as well.
Yeah, fish oil has been one of my staples for a very long time for your brain, for mood, for focus, but it is now having a little bit of a heated debate. They're not quite sure if it could be inflammatory, where we always thought it was anti. So it just brings up the point, you gotta stay open, you gotta stay educated, be willing to say, wait, if this isn't quite it, maybe there's a different fat that's good for our brains and our cell membranes, and that's what we're researching.
So interesting, but for now, if like I take omega-3, should I stick with it for now?
Yes, just make sure you have a clean brand.
Got it.
Because that can be dirty. That can have pesticides and mercury. If you don't get, like Nordic or Carlson are easy brands to find over the counter.
Good to know.
And they're cleaner.
Nordic and Carlson. Yes. Got it. Okay, what about a B12?
B12, most people do feel better with it. However, another big warning, and unfortunately these aren't quick, easy answers, is B12 often comes as cyanocobalamin. Cobalamin is B12. Cyano is like a little attachment group where you could have methylcobalamin and cyanocobalamin as the two most common. The methylcobalamin is a lot safer for most people.
Okay, and when I think of B12, I think of like a shot that you get at some of these doctor's offices, but you could take it orally as well?
Yes, it works better sublingually. orally, so you
Okay.
can actually get a drop or a little pill that you dissolve under your tongue.
Okay.
But it does come orally as well, just not quite as absorbed. That's why the shots are so popular.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Okay, what about collagen? Everyone thinks of collagen. They want their skin to be all plump. So what do you think of that?
Well, I think it's another area where marketing has really pushed agendas.
Yeah.
So I'll just say, in my experience, I have a particular one that's a liquid, comes from chicken-based. It's called a liquid biocell collagen that works really well. The powdered, I'm not really sure how well they work. So that's, again, going to be a bit of a trial and error and research to try to find what's going to be the most bioavailable.
Yeah, and I know, money is a concern for a lot of people, and these supplements add up. So when it comes to collagen, would you say that would be lower on the list and to go for some of these other ones?
Yes,
Okay.
the major thumbs up we've hit on so far between
Yeah.
the magnesium, the vitamin D, a good quality multi, those are gonna go past the collagen in my book.
Yeah, okay, one I wanted to mention, this might be one that people aren't as familiar with, is lion's mane.
Yeah.
How do you feel
So
about that?
lion's mane is an interesting substance. It's mushroom, and I will say some people have yeast problems,
Yeah.
some people have mushroom allergies, so it's also not an absolute for everyone.
Okay.
But it can be a game changer for stress and for focus
Yeah.
as couple. So I play with it on and off myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. This was, so helpful.
Yeah.
And I know we could talk, for
Yes.
hours and
We
hours
could.
about this. So if anyone out there has more questions, you should definitely reach out because she has a lot of the answers. So
Yeah.
you can get in touch with her by heading to the website spectrawellness.com.